Hi, I'm Adam Brooks Weber, bringing you another edition of the Merry Mystic. I'm glad you're here. One of our Merry Mystics commented online, uh, thanking me for writing The Harmony of the Incredible Earth, a hymn about the earth, and saying that it was something that she would be able to share with her pagan daughter. This prompts me to share with you a story about an interesting long weekend I spent with a group of neo-pagans. This is back when I was in seminary, and a class I was taking, we had an assignment to attend and then analyze and write about a religious ritual in a church other than our own. Many of my classmates went to see Catholic churches or Eastern Orthodox churches, but I wanted to try something a little farther afield than that. And I guess I was feeling a little rebellious being involved in the whole ordination process that's quite rigorous in my own denomination. So I looked up to see if I could find some Wiccans and see what they do. I found a group online, has a very strong online presence, the Karelian nativist tradition. This is a national group, or I guess, yes, an international group, but they had a temple fairly close to me. And I learned that they were going to be having their big annual ceremony, their lustration of the ancestors, and I thought that would be the perfect opportunity. So I contacted some members of the group and asked whether it would be all right if I observed the ceremony. And I was very upfront with them. I told them, look, I'm a Christian. I'm not interested in converting. I'm a student in a seminary, and I don't want to intrude. I respect your tradition. I'm a Christian, but I'm not one of the intolerant ones. Unfortunately, it's necessary to explain that these days. So would it be all right if I just observe? Well, they came back and invited me to spend the weekend. They were having not just the ritual, but a series of meetings and workshops. And I thought, great, perfect opportunity to learn more about them. So before I went, I had a number of preconceptions. I knew enough from reading about pagan traditions to know that there's a wide spectrum of them. I wasn't expecting them to be like the witches in Macbeth or Bewitched or Charmed, but I was expecting, I guess, a certain kind of carefreeness. I was expecting barefoot dancing in groves, and so I was surprised to find how very serious they were. The subject of this long weekend's meetings was clergy standards for priests and priestesses in the Karelian nativist tradition. There were visitors from far away, including Lady Selena Fox was there. She's the one public pagan that most people know. She is kind of the public face of modern paganism and appears on television fairly often. It was interesting to meet her. So I went and tried to help out and learn more about them and dispel any notion they might have that Christians are all a bunch of intolerant people. It was a fascinating weekend. I wanted to try and talk them out of clergy standards. I didn't do it because I wanted to keep my mouth shut and listen rather than talk. But I felt a motive. I felt moved to say, don't go down that road. They're going for a lot of structure and regulations, and I really I was feeling very impatient with all the structure and regulations in my own denomination. I thought, Jesus invited us to live into the kingdom of God, and instead we got the church. You don't want to go there. But I appreciate why they want to go there. They want to go there because they need societal recognition of their authenticity as a religious tradition. So they want to have standards so that there'll be recognized clergy, so that they'll be able to visit hospitals, so that they'll be able to have weddings that are officially recognized, so that they'll be able to visit people in prison. All kinds of reasons. They need some sense of structure. I can respect that. When the big lustration of the ancestors ceremony came around, they invited me not only to observe it, but also to participate in it. And I thought, not sure I can do that. I want to be helpful, but so they gave me the rubric to read, 25 pages. One of the members told me proudly that the Karelian nativist tradition is the Episcopalians of the pagan world. And indeed, they have elaborate formal robes, and they have elaborate rubric for each ceremony. And there are 3 levels of priesthood, and everybody I met seemed to be studying for one level or another. Well, they invited me to participate, and I read the rubric for the ceremony, the lustration of the ancestors. And I discovered that lustration of the ancestors is basically a big blessing. It's a blessing of the whole world. They invoke the power of their faith ancestors. They invoke the power of various spiritual forces, and they focus that power on blessing the world. And I thought, yes, of course. This is something that I personally am called to do, to bless people, to bless the world. That's something I can participate in with a clear conscience. So somewhere on the internet, I think, there is a video of pagan ceremony with a whole bunch of elaborately robed pagan priests and priestesses, and one thin gray-haired guy in street clothes who is earnestly blessing the world. That's me. I guess this means I can't ever run for president now, because if I do, someone's bound to unearth the video and accuse me of being a nut job. Such is the state of our national politics, but let's not go there. I am amazed and truly humbled by the degree of welcome that I experienced with this group. They had no reason at all to trust me. I'm a Christian, a member of the dominant religious force in a society that strongly represses them. And I met people with a lot of damage. I met a woman whose children were taken away from her in a custody battle in which her ex-husband used her Wiccan beliefs against her. That's just one of many, many examples. These are people who have sustained a lot of damage at the hands of the Christian majority in a Christian-dominated culture. They had no reason to believe that I wasn't going to take out my Bible and start smacking them with it. And yet they invited me to participate. It's amazing. It's as if imagine a church where a self-avowed Wiccan comes in as a guest, and the church invites that person to help out with the Easter liturgy. This is the scale of thing. This is the major celebration of their year. So I'm really humbled by their welcome, and I bless them in my heart. I don't agree with them about everything. I have to say I found their theology a little uh, vague. Interestingly, I thought most of the people I talked to were at core monotheists. They believed in one God with many avatars, many expressions of holiness in the world. So although they would talk about the God and the goddess, or the Lord and the lady, or like that, when I spoke in detail about what they meant, it seemed like they were referring at core to one sort of uh, holiness, which is expressed in different ways. So we found some common ground there. But although we didn't agree about everything theologically, I was so impressed with their welcome, and also very impressed with what a great job they do of taking care of each other. So God bless them. And God bless you. Hey, if you've met any pagans, or if you are one and you have a story to share, please scroll down and leave a comment. If you're viewing this video anywhere but on adambrooksweber.com, please go there. You can sign up for the Merry Mystic, receive a video every week, and you can leave a comment there. Until then, God bless you, or as my pagan friends say, blessed be. Bye now.